Hello, welcome. Today I will be talking about Ghost of Camp Blood. Ghost of Camp Blood is a 2018 film produced by David Sterling and written and directed by Mark Polonia. It stars Steve Diaspora, Alyssa Dowling, and Jamie Morgan. The story follows a paranormal investigator named Randy Buck, whose TV show is on its way to being canceled, and is given a second chance if he can deliver a show on the infamous Camp Blood killer, Stan Cunningham. After obtaining the killer's clown mask through a questionable means, Randy reluctantly teams up with a trio of investigators in order to contact the murderer's spirit. I really enjoyed how this entry strived for something different with its unconventional narrative structure and the various themes throughout the picture. The theme of the sensationalistic nature of today's oversaturated media culture. One example of this is while at the site of the murders, one character enthusiastically states with giddy excitement, "It reeks of blood and murder." Another example of the media sensationalism would be during the news segments in the film, which cut to the footage of the various death scenes from the previous films, implicating the viewer in the human fascination with the sensationalistic subject of murder and death. The blurring of the line between dream and reality is another leitmotif or predominant theme in this film. An example of this would be the sequence interspersed throughout the film where an unknown woman who is bound and gagged is tortured and ultimately disemboweled by the clown killer. This sequence, shot with a combination of deep shadows and lighting with a pinkish hue, almost appear to be a nightmare or a dream playing out. This sequence is never given any explicit context. Is it just a dream? Or is this one of the killer's many victims? Is this delusions of a deranged mind? This theme is also expressed in a scene where Randy is sitting in his office and looks over to see a clown standing out in the hallway. He steps out into the hallway to confront the clown and is transported to a cemetery. He begins looking around until a particular gravestone catches his eye. He walks up to the grave, which is presumably the grave of the Camp Blood killer, and begins staring. A hand bursts from the ground and grabs him by the throat. Randy then wakes up and realizes he is choking himself with his own hands. This sort of melding of nightmare and real life permeate this Camp Blood entry. Shots throughout the picture show the clown killer walking the hallways and staircases, seeming to imply the clown is traversing inside the headspace of the characters, especially one character in particular. Spoiler alert for those who have not seen this film. The character I'm speaking of is the character of Randy. In fact, there are many scenes that seem to suggest that Randy and the clown killer are two sides of the same person, the clown killer representing Randy's repressed unconscious desires. This one definitely is taking the series back into a darker direction. It is less cartoon-like than the last couple of films. The lighting and camera work were excellent, very artsy with the use of colored lighting and shadows, and even some slow motion, which added to the dreamlike feel of the piece. I really enjoyed this one. In fact, it is my favorite of the Mark Polonia helmed sequels. That's just my opinion. Yours may differ.